morning, folks. I am Craig Johnson. I'm the Chief Deputy at the Wise County Sheriff's Office. Some of you may remember me as Judge Johnson, and some of you may have been in my court for, I don't know, whatever reason. You can just make it up as you go along. But if I look familiar, that's probably why. I want to visit with you today about internet safety and some things that maybe you might not think about that. Growing up as a kid, and I'm 48 years old, growing up as a kid, I was of the generation where I would leave home in the morning, and as long as I'm back by dinner or whatever time that in the evening time I was supposed to be home, life was pretty good. And it was just me, my friends, and whatever we were into at the time. And it was just nice and peaceful, active, and just whatever we wanted to make it. Nowadays, technology has advanced so much that the world practically has access to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, or 366 days a year on leap year. And really what that translates to is you don't have any time to power down. You don't have any time to pull the throttle in a little bit and just let your minds rest and relax. Back when I was a kid, we didn't have these. We didn't have the smartphones. We didn't have the iPhone, whatever this is, and the newest Samsung, whatever, and we just didn't have that. No iPods, no iPads, no laptop computers. I think the first computer I saw in school was my junior year in high school. But along came these things. These are great. These have wonderful benefits to them. Technology is a wonderful tool because with this, or with an iPad, or with a laptop, or any other technological device, you have access to so much information. You have the same access to information for your school assignments. Let's say you need to look something up about, I don't know, South Africa and the history of, and then the history of the African continent, whatever the case may be. It might have taken me days as a kid to run that down. It takes about, I don't know, 10 seconds for you to get most of what you need thanks to one of these. But again, the troubling thing about this is when you unlock these and you have all these cool apps on here, you can take a little mental vacation. You can go to Snapchat, you can go to Instagram, Twitter, or if you're old school, you can kick it on Facebook. But again, what we're left with is this is open and going 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And you know, it's kind of cool to keep in contact with your friends. It's really cool to Snapchat, you know, at whatever time. And it's really cool to put pictures out there and network with your friends and have all these good things going. That's great. However, everybody that has access to technology has access to you through this. People can remotely turn your cameras on. At first, when I started hearing about that a couple decades ago, people could remotely access your computers. I was thinking, what? That's the goofiest thing I've ever heard. But just this morning, I remoted into my desktop computer from my Microsoft whatever tablet thing I have, and I worked on my desktop from wherever I was at. Now let's bring that back to what we need to talk about here. People have access to you 24/7. That means people have access to your personal items, to anything you have on here. Snapchat and social media, those are dangerous things because people create fake identities to get on there, to see you, to groom you, to prepare you, to get you to do whatever it is they need you to do. People access you in ways that benefit them. Now, what I mean by that is they can talk you into buying drugs for somebody. They can talk you into joining a cause that would benefit whatever they want to do. They can have access to your pictures. People can transmit inappropriate pictures about you. They can do all kinds of bad things. Human trafficking is a huge issue now. How do you think people gain access to folks to be involved in human trafficking? Well, it starts with devices very much like this most of the time. Because if they have access to you and they can work on whatever it is you're going through in your life, they can control your responses somewhat and convince you it's okay to meet up with them. Well, you might meet up with someone you thought was a 13-year-old girl or a 13-year-old boy, but when you meet up, it's some big old fat 57-year-old person that wants to do bad things. That's reality. When you're on these and when you use these, Snapchat, I'm convinced, is of the devil. It's okay when you're going back and forth with your friends, but the big thing about Snapchat is they tell you, well, it's only whatever you send, the message or the picture is only there for just a few seconds and then it goes away forever. That's dumb. First of all, in a real practical sense, how easy is it to take a screenshot of whatever the picture is? Secondly, I have cases on my desk now where we have gotten records from Snapchat to use in criminal cases. So if someone is transmitting pictures that they don't need to send, i.e. inappropriate pictures, nude photos, photos depicting all kinds of unhealthy things, a couple things. First of all, if you send them, you've just sent some stuff that can get you in trouble. You've just sent some child pornography. The people in that image are younger, below age of consent. If you take photographs of them and you keep them, you're in possession of that same bad stuff. Now again, I don't want to leave you with the misunderstanding that these are the most evil things in the world. Good people use these for good things. Bad people with bad intentions use these for bad things. Unfortunately, you don't always hear about the good things, which is normal for our society. People don't get enough praise, but people oftentimes get too much bad credit. Now, when we're talking about these, and you're talking about people that have access to you 24/7, I want to talk just a second about the people that would do bad things on here. I want to talk to the criminals that would convince other people to do bad things. And we'll talk about the bullies. That is one of the most terrible things in the world that you could do, is to take advantage of somebody and prey on their good graces, prey on their weaknesses to convince them to do something that you don't have the spine to do yourself, or that they are too weak to defend against. Now, for the folks that are getting bullied, there are ways to get out of whatever situation it is that you're in. There are ways not to be taken advantage of. And if you are in a situation like that, I would really encourage you to go speak to your counselor, speak to your teacher. Come find me at the sheriff's office. Come find Sheriff Aiken at the sheriff's office. Come find somebody, go find somebody to talk to help you out. Don't get caught in a situation where you're getting convinced to run away with someone that is not who they claim to be. Don't be talked into going and buying drugs for somebody else. Don't be talked into doing something that's going to scar you or hurt you for the rest of your life because people had access to this, that use this technology for bad purposes. I wanted to also touch on for just a minute the benefits of these. Man, you have access to the whole world, like, quickly. These are good. For people that are taking advantage of other people, you can text 911. You can email a police department or a sheriff's office. You can get in touch with so many different people. You can instantly connect with family that you haven't seen, or friends that you haven't seen or talked to in years, and be called up just like that. You can do good things with these. Be part of the good. Don't be part of the bad. And if you're part of the bad, don't cry foul when we come find you, because we will.